Classroom of the Elite is one of my personal favorite shows of the season, and rightfully so. We're talking about such an amazing premise, the writing is on point, and the characters are lovable, but also very entertaining to watch. But aside from all of that, I want to focus on today's video on one person and one person alone, and that is our protagonist, Ayanokōji. Ayanokōji is very interesting for me because as much as people like to call him a hero of sorts because he's helping people, I'm in season 3 right now. Season 3 is currently airing, and he's already saved a lot of people from expulsion and helping the people around him who are more, I guess, if you scale it in D&D terms, like, I guess, on the good end of the spectrum. Now, the problem that arises is sort of the misunderstanding that Ayanokōji is a saint, because at the end of season 1, we learn his true motivations is for him to win at all costs and him alone. He doesn't care about the class, he doesn't care about his classmates, he only cares about himself. Now, that could have changed over the course of 2 seasons, but I like to think that it hasn't. And he actually is still very much prepared to lose people around him that people think that are close to him for the sake of his own benefit. And the reason why is because he's a sociopath. I not only think that he is not only just a mentally disturbed person, I think he is the villain of the show. And before you get your head into a twist saying, Serious, he's the protagonist, what do you mean that he's the villain? Well, there's a misconception, I think, among people when we talk about characters and such. Just because you are the protagonist of a story doesn't necessarily mean you are going to be the hero. Because as much as that does happen quite commonly, of course, like I think most stories or a majority of all stories do take that formula, the same could be also said for the villain of the story. The villain could be the protagonist and you could be following the events. Or even better yet, you have a morally complex character be the protagonist. Now, in the case of Classroom of the Elite, I think Ayanokōji he is truly the villain of the story because of what he does and what he is able to accomplish with no feeling or remorse at all. Like, you look at some of your more, I guess, beloved characters in anime, and you look at them, like, for example, you can say, like, Edward Elric, you can do Gon, another one could be, like, more recent, Deku, or even all the way to Zero in Code Geass. And you see across the board, they are trying their best to help people because they are heroes. But then you have something like this, where you have him manipulating behind the scenes. You have him not only pretending to be sort of average across the board when it comes to grades, but his involvement in the class is at just a complete average standing. Like, he's a background character. He is what Sid is in Eminence in Shadow, where he just wants to play that background part, but have his hands all over the class, all over the school. He manipulates everything. And I think that's what makes him so interesting, is that he's able to sort of accomplish this. And overall, I think, just looking back at his character, I think that going forward, we're going to get something interesting with him. Because I think there's a point, because right now he's going at a head with the school because his father wants him to either get expelled or quit, and he's not budging. So I'm interested to see where it goes from there. I also want to know about the White Room, what that is, and what that embodies as well. But as of now, his character and what he's able to do is only due to the fact that he is not your stereotypical person or character in a protagonist role. He is a straight up villain, and based on what he's going to do and what he is going to accomplish, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from there. And I'm excited to see what happens because I love characters like that. I think characters who really push the envelope in terms of our understanding of, like, okay, what is the best case sense of morality here? Do you agree with him? Do you side with him in certain regards of him helping people, but you also disagree with him by not feeling any emotion or showing any love or care about those around him? that I think is such an interesting conversation to delve into, and I think this show does it perfectly. But yeah, I mean, Ayanokōji is probably one of my all-time favorite characters now. And although I do think there is a danger in people glorifying him and saying that I want to be just like him, no, you don't. He's a sociopath. You're telling me that you want to feel no emotion at all. You want to be in the background of every single event and you don't get any sense of glory or participation at all? Really? Is that what you want? I don't think so. And I just think it's funny that people are like, oh, wait, no, he's actually a really cool person. I want to be just like him, because he's a badass. He's an alpha male. And I'm like, no, you don't want that, please. You have a misunderstanding of him. But, anyways, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Ayanokōji. And if you haven't seen Classroom of the Elite, I would highly recommend getting into it now because we're 3 seasons in. Season 3 is still currently airing. A new episode actually just dropped today. And I see, based on where it's going, I am more than happy to see a continuation into Season 4. And I guarantee you it's probably going to get a Season 4. Because everyone that I've seen that has watched the show and talked about this show is falling in love with it once again. And it's still continuing strong. And honestly, I think Season 3 is probably the best season thus far. I actually love what they're doing with Season 3. Although I do like the climax of Season 2 a lot, so I'm going to have to see where Season 3 ends before I can compare Season 2 to it. But in terms of Season 1, clears it. It's amazing. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts, just make a short video, and also try a new camera format where I actually use a camera now instead of an iPhone. So let me know what you guys think of that too. Thanks for watching, friends. I don't know how to end my videos. I still need to work on that.